Well, all right, here we are. You know who I am, Pastor Bobby D. Hamilton from the Friendship Community Bible Church in Sugar Land, Texas. And this is the day. This is Move Monday. This is the Monday we've set aside since last year to get the blood pumping, to get the aerobics going, to allow our heart rate to rise up. This is the day we're to move, and whatever mode of move you choose, the main thing is just to move. This is a new day. It's a new week. It's a beautiful day out here, and you got a chance to move. And thank God I've heard from so many of you who are already moving. You've told me what you're doing at your home, in your neighborhood. You told me what you're doing with your children and your pets and your cycles, and just thank you for just moving. And so this morning, I'm not going to just kind of call names. I'm going to call families. I'm going to call the Peters family. You've been doing a great job, but keep on moving. The Antoine family. Oh, yes, you have. You know who I'm talking about. Keep on moving. The Consuelo family. Keep on moving. The Thomas family. The Thomases, thank you for your moving. Thank you for taking your medication, too. Thank you so much for the Swallow family. The Swallow family. Keep on moving. For the Allens. You're senior citizen, but yet you still find a way to move, you and your dog, Bobo. So I want to just thank you for moving. That's a wonderful thing to be able to get up and to move. And maybe you can't go outside, and maybe you can't go to your gym, and maybe you can't go to the community park and run 7 miles, 6 miles, 5 miles. Shoot, you can't even run 30 yards. But you know what? You are able to put one foot in front of the other, and we thank God for that. Even if you're in a wheelchair today, thank God someone can just move you around and so many things that you couldn't be doing, but thank God for what you can do. This is Move Monday, and I encourage you just to move. Maybe you're in your office right now. In your office, get up from that desk, that great cherry wood desk that you have, and walk around the office. Walk down to the water fountain. Walk down to the soda machine and the vending machine and get nothing out of it, but just move. Oh, please do move. I'm still thinking about the message yesterday. The message I preached, you can find it on YouTube, entitled Watch Your Mouth. It was a message rooted out of Ephesians 4:29 through 30. Because I've been doing this family series about God reuniting our families and having a family reunion. Because if anywhere our faith works, I say all the time, it's got to work at the house. Our families have to work. Yes, that seems to be the main instrument that's under attack is the family. And so we've been working our way through it. But then yesterday, I started talking about something that's so simplistic, but for many is so complex. Something that is so fundamental, and that is communication about what we do with our mouths. Because as I said on yesterday, you can't have a healthy relationship. You can't have a dynamic, growing family. You can't have one that's moving from mediocre to marvelous unless you're able to communicate. And many times what comes out of our mouths is vile and vicious and venomous. And so I'm saying we got to be able to look at what comes out of our mouth, which raises the question, what cocoon of conversation were you raised in? As you were raised as a child, what was the communication like? What was the atmosphere of talk in your home? What did it sound like? Was it condemning? Was it laced with profanity? Was it dead silence? Was it cold as an Alaska winter? What was the conversation like? And here's the greatest question. What is it like now? What is your home like? When it comes to talk, when it comes to your family dynamics, whether you're married or unmarried, whether you're a widower or a widow, what's the talk like around your grandkids, around your godchildren, or with your spouse, with your employer and employee, with those who are your intimate friends, with your bosom buddies, with your ride and dies? What's your talk like? My premise that many times our mouths let things come out. The text says, let no unwholesome words proceed from your mouth. And yet when it talks about unwholesome words, it's not just talking about profanity. It's talking about harmful words. Because you know as well as I know, there are people that have said things to you and your family and your friends, and they never use profanity. But it cuts you like a knife. In fact, you're still bleeding 30, 40 years later, and the blood has not dried from what someone said to you. And they never cursed you. But they simply said things like dummy, things like stupid, things like sissy, things like idiot, things like black boy, white girl, a myriad of things. Said things like, you're going to be just like your daddy, going to be just like your mama. You'll never be anything. Jailbird, snitch, all these things people have said to you, idiot, dumb, Flunkersville. And you still live with that. It still resonates in your mind. Just something someone said. You're too dark. You're too light. You're trying to pass. You act white. You act black. And all these things, you're gringo, and all these kind of things. Words. Words have power. I told you yesterday that words are like nitroglycerin, that they're able to bless a house or to blow it up. And for many of us, we've had blow-ups. I want to encourage you today. The Bible talks about speaking words that edify, that you can change the atmosphere in your home and your family and your extended family. That beginning today, that you would pick out someone that you can bless with your mouth, that you can take your mouth and stop using it as a vile, vicious, big instrument to blow people out of the water. You say, but to begin to take your mouth and bless. There's some child, there's some aging parent, there's some sibling who did you wrong, there's some parent who abandoned you, there's some father who may be incarcerated, and they need you to bless them today. Can you allow God to heal the hurt in your heart? Because they can't heal your heart. Only God can heal your heart. That you may be able to speak words of life that lift people up today. You've done a great job of bringing people down. But today when you allow the Spirit of the living God to grab your vocal cords and use them to lift somebody up, your wife is waiting to hear you lift them up. Your child is waiting to hear. Your prodigal child is waiting to hear. Your great child is now in college and ascending and got kids and you're so proud of, but you never say anything. You never talk. And for some of you right now, this is just a hard thing for you, because there's some men who watch me right now and it just tears you apart to think that you've got to talk. You hate to hear the words from your wife or from your girlfriend that says, we need to talk. That means a myriad of things, but you got to talk. You got to open your mouth, but speak words of life. Speak words of truth. No lying, but words of truth. But you got to be able to talk. Jesus spoke life. When Jesus told that woman in John 8, go your way and sin no more. Oh, that was life. It lifted her up. When Jesus talked to that thief on the cross and said, today you shall be with me in paradise, that lifted him up. And I'm saying that today somebody somewhere, somebody in your circle needs you to lift them up. This world is pressurized with pain. And I'm saying it's time to reverse the pain and to speak words of life. God has given you the ability to speak, the ability to communicate. Use your words for the glory of God and not to get back at people who sliced and diced you with some very deceitful, devilish, demonic words. Today is a day of life. Will you speak life? Will you choose life? Oh, it's Move Monday. And we are moving, and we're also moving our tongues. And we're moving our tongues to speak words of life. I want to hear from you. Let me hear from you. Let me know who you spoke to. Let me know how it went. If you have any questions for me or comments, contact me at the church, Friendship Community Bible Church in Sugar Land, Texas. I'll be glad to dialogue with you. But today, most of all, I choose life and prove that by speaking life. Oh, have a good day. Go move, go move, go move, go move. And I'll see you on Wednesday night at Friendship, which is a place to begin again.